Emisión.net.
Hello again and welcome to Letter from England, broadcasting for AC Press and the Spanish Evangelical Alliance. Homeschooling is again hitting the headlines in Spain, as an evangelical couple have spoken to a committee at the Basque Assembly on the subject, as they try and defend not only their own particular situation, but also the right of parents to be able to choose to educate their children at home. Here in Britain, of course, that's already very common, even more so in the States and in many European countries. But in Spain, the situation is still somewhat, from a legal perspective anyway, ambivalent. Michael Branson, who's American, and Ketty Sánchez, who's Spanish, became the first Spanish couple to speak to a legislative assembly in Spain in order to defend their right to homeschool their children. The Commission for Education and Culture in the Basque Assembly heard them argue that it is the parents' inalienable right to decide how to bring up their children and what kind of education they wish them to have. In this, they used the Spanish Constitution as their defence. Now, they were joined by other defenders of homeschooling, and the Commission must now decide whether to take the matter to the full Assembly chamber for a debate. The Bransons have been teaching their 4 children at home for the past year, having taken them out of the state system, and the Commission was asked to find out more about homeschooling so as to make it an acceptable educational option in modern democratic Spain. Francisco González, a pedagogue with experience in the homeschooling field, said this type of education was in legal no man's land in Spain at present. And the Commission was shown a DVD which included comments by other people, including the Andaluz Ombudsman, who are also favourable towards homeschooling. And finally, the Bransons themselves were able to explain their own situation. This couple hit the headlines last October when they were charged with taking their 4 children out of the state education system, charged actually of crimes against children. For so doing, they enrolled them with an American distance learning school and gave them classes at the language school, which they run in Irún, very near the French border. The fact that they were being accused of crimes against children not only failed to put them off homeschooling, but in fact strengthened their resolve to defend their cause. And their case opened a wider debate in society about homeschooling, and has led other families to defend it publicly as well. Currently, the final verdict on their case is still awaited, as the education authorities study exactly what the couple have been teaching their children. The Inspector of Education in San Sebastián has asked to meet the couple again, so that they can explain to him what teaching methods they use. Well, the debate has thrown up several anomalies in the Spanish education system which discriminate against pupils of other nationalities. For instance, a foreign pupil that has been homeschooled in their own country can go on to study at a Spanish university, whereas a pupil who has been homeschooled in Spain cannot do so, at least not until they reach the age of 25. The last person to speak in the debate was Madeleine Guiria, a lecturer in civil law at Basque University in Loida, who spoke about how homeschooling is recognized in other countries, especially, she said, in Great Britain, whose model she thinks is the most transparent and flexible of all. She said that British education legislation had just 2 magic words which make it so flexible. Education is compulsory, she said, be that through the school system or another option. MPs from the Popular Party said the most important thing was the freedom of parents to choose the kind of education they wished for their children. Other MPs said they agreed with some of the opinions expressed, but that above all they believed a parent should have the right to determine what sort of education they wish for their children. They agreed to do all they could to make this happen. The Socialist MPs present said there should be no more cases like that of the Bransons, where a family is hounded by the education authorities and threatened with legal action. And one of the speakers called for homeschooling to be clearly separated from truancy in school regulations which govern pupil absenteeism. Finally, Ketty Sánchez explained how they came to end up talking about their situation to Basque MPs. She says, "A Basque member who is pro-homeschooling encouraged me to take the issue to the Assembly. We had the opportunity to speak to the Education Commission, so 7 of us presented ourselves there to explain our situation and the problems that families who wish to teach their children this way face in Spain. We are not asking for a new law, but simply that they recognise this option and that they don't pursue us through the courts just because we want our children to have the best education possible. Thank you for listening once again. Broadcasting at emission.net each week. Goodbye.
Emisión.net